Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction for Tower of God Chapter 569, or Season 3, Episode 152. I was going to do my usual, I'm excited, I say that every time. If you didn't see it earlier in the week because of my computer issues where I was like, last week's reaction, I kind of cut it off sort of short because I was having computer issues and I was like, I didn't want to risk like losing everything, and I was just like kind of getting just thrown off pace by the issues. So because I did that, I did a discussion video on last chapter, just a quick short discussion. I also did a full 1 hour plus video on Lazaro's Tower of God Hot or Not, where I filled out the survey, I looked at the results. So yeah, if you're interested, go check out that video. It was over an hour long. So there has been a bunch of other Tower of God stuff since the last reaction, and honestly, last reaction, it's only been a week. It feels like it's been forever. So yeah, last time we left off, we got the backstory stuff that I'd been waiting for with the Serpent Master, and like, there's a part of me, a lot of you disagreed in the comments, which is fair. There's a part of me that was like, I kind of wish it was something different, like similar, but different from the Snake Charmer. I was kind of hoping the Snake Charmer would be its own unique thing, but I mean, that's not really like a huge problem or anything. But other than that, I generally liked the backstory. I think there's still a lot more going on. Of course, we don't have full explanations for everything, especially how Laura feels about all of this. I would be most willing to bet that Laura doesn't necessarily want a part in this whole, as much as it seems like the Snake Charmer does genuinely love Laura and Lilial. I doubt Laura feels the same way. This is probably something orchestrated by Traumare, being a weirdo and an awful person. That would be my best bet. We have Shiliel coming in, which was so awesome. I love Shiliel. I love her outfit here. And just the difference in demeanor and the way she acts between her and Liliel, it's consistent with the way things were all the way back last season in Name Hunt Station. So yeah, I'm interested to see what role she plays in the story. And after this crazy good backstory stuff, we got, of course, Andrasi and Lilial making it to where Bomb was. Of course, Ren's there too, but Ren's not really doing much at the moment. After all of that really cool stuff, we bring in Lilial, all this dramatic, the twists. We end on a joke panel, which I thought was great. I thought that was a really fun way to end it. So yeah, just in general, last chapter was very, very good. Everything since coming back from the hiatus has been just pretty damn good on the week-to-week. The last chapter in particular was really fun. So I'm interested to see. I feel like we'll probably continue on with that, but maybe we'll see some other characters, because we still have the stuff going on with the traitor. Was he Gerudo? I don't 100% remember his name. If he is the traitor, that is, I just assumed he was. Sorry, hiccups. From the, I just ate a big dinner before this, so it might bother me. But like, we just got introduced to like Gerudo or whatever his name is, and we have stuff going on there with Chan Jin Sung, which is interesting. Of course, the fight between Jam Jam and Mate Ha. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on, not to mention Yuri and Tiara, and a big question, what's going on with Kun, Rak, Hemoslime, and Dravi, because they left to go find Bomb, and yet Andrasi and Lilial got here first. So who knows what role they're going to play in all of this. But either way, let's just continue on. Let's start reading. Let's agree to get married for now. What do you say? You could do a lot worse for a wife than me, says Shiliel. Again, I love her outfit here. Shiliel. And Bob looks down. I refuse. What? You impotent or something? You don't want me? No, and that's what we ended on. Tower of God, Season 3, Showdown 1. Wow, we are getting just a lot of different chapter titles. Okay, so Showdown 1, a hall in the hotel. Hey, who are you people? How do you know Princess Yuri? I have nothing to do with the princess. Okay, now we're seeing Hemoslime and Dravi, and presumably that's Kun and Rak yelling toward them, probably. I came to help FUG, I came from FUG to help Viol. For some reason I was reading that sentence all messed up. We're Bomb's companions. We seem to be on the same side as you, at least. I can't trust you until the Slayer candidate confirms that himself. Smart. Oh, come on. What are you going to do when you find Bomb anyway? That's smart on Dravi's part, though. Being like, okay, that's fair. I'm not going to attack you or anything, but I can't trust you until I have confirmation. I was given orders to either help him win this tournament or to assist him in escaping here in the worst case scenario. Escape? You mean you know how to get off this battleship? I can't tell you any more than that. Okay, so Kun is probably, instead of taking the Tiara route back to Pobedao, even though this means abandoning Warion and the others, they can figure things out themselves. Kun is probably going to want to take the Dravi route of escaping on their own. Look at that. All the doors are smashed. Oh? And we have this... Oh, it's Ren. I was going to say we have this like red snake-looking thing. That's Ren. Let's see where this leads. Okay, and they're following Ren's body. Did you just refuse me? You seem to be seriously mistaken. Because I'm not suggesting we get married because I like you. This is purely... Hey, he said he's not interested, Andrasi bursting out. Just give it up already. Is it normal for people in your family to marry people they don't even like? No, and then Lilial. I won't allow you to marry him, Shilial. No way. It may be an order from the family head. Lilial. But there's no need for either of us to marry that man. Then what do you suggest we do? Do you want our whole family to be wiped out for disobeying the family head? No. I'm saying we should kill him. He's the cause of all this trouble. Very, very simple-minded answer. Why did you appear in the tower in the first place, you demon? None of this would have happened if it weren't for you, you monster. Hey, watch your mouth. Oh? And Andrasi's yelling, but somebody else is coming in with the chop and or slap, probably Shilial. Yeah, this dramatic ass... Hold on, since I can show a few panels. This dramatic ass slap panel, her face just... Like, oh my god. Okay. We have the slap from Shilial. And then Lilial just in shock. Whoa, what an epic slap, Andrasi. Is our pride really... We just have... Again, Bomb just... in the background. Is our pride really worth risking the safety of our whole family? Stop acting so immature, Lilial. The person standing before you was selected as an heir by the family head. We're in no position to refuse him simply because we feel like it. Hey, I don't want to be your family's heir, says Bomb. Mr. Slayer candidate. There you are. Okay. And it's Dravi coming in. So we have all of them meeting up. Thank goodness you're safe. Bomb. And again, I mentioned it in the Hot or Not video. Look at... Hold on. Let me... Again, panel down again. Look at Hema Slime. Her outfit is so cute. Also, those hips. Wow. But that outfit is just so cute. I love the outfit. Alright, either way. Gotta get rid of this panel so I can continue. Bomb. That voice. Kun. Rack? Kun, Rack, you're safe? How in the world did you end up on Lopobia's battleship? What happened? And then, is this purple aura coming from Kun, or is there something behind them? In the air, around the battleship, Jam Jam versus Mate. We get to see it again? We're not even halfway, like, scrolled down through the page, it looks like. We have all of the, all the explosives coming in. Oh, and this is so cool, this, like, red ring attack. Jam Jam is so awesome. I love Jam Jam. Mate's great too. But I love Jam Jam. He's so cool. We have Mate again, just full concrete. That didn't hurt him at all. Mosquito? Strange. I'm the intruder here. And yet you look much more desperate than me. Is it just my imagination? He's right. Why hasn't any backup arrived yet? Something must be wrong on the battleship. I can't ask the family head directly for help. Kirin is the only person on the battleship allowed to contact the family head. So he contacted Kirin. Like, some people said, what if Kirin is the traitor? It's interesting. He contacted Kirin, and I guess maybe Kirin could have sent Gerudo, and Gerudo's the traitor, so he didn't follow through on it. But it's interesting that he asked Kirin for help, and help hasn't arrived yet. You seem to be in a hurry as well. So I'll go ahead and attack first this time. I was hoping to keep holding out, but that dragonfly's attacks are more powerful than I thought. That was close. I'm starting to run out of power to use for reinforcement. Now that the dragonfly is getting anxious to end the fight, this is my chance to fight him head on. I received this spear from the family leader, so I don't use it very often. And he turns it horizontally. We have energy coming off of it. Damn it, so you do use that spear after all. You lied to me, Mosquito. Spear of Doom. It's his spear. Spear of Doom. Ignite. Okay, so it's an ignition weapon. And we have like green lightning coming from it. Fire electric bombs. And we have Jam Jam responding with his own attack. Alright. Then we have the clash between the two. This huge panel is awesome. Also, the fire electric attacks are cool. Like fire electric mixed element, Shinsu quality is so like cool and interesting. And it's so interesting that Jam Jam is the one that we see with the fire electric Shinsu quality. And then we have this really cool, like, blown out, barely any color, mostly black and white panel, and I love freaking Sharknose's face in it. It's so cool. I love that choice with the art. And then the same one with Jam Jam. Like, this is really creative. I like this. It feels like for a long time we didn't get creative stuff like this in Tower of God. Man, that's so cool. And the attack is blowing through all of the bombs. Mosquito! And then I can't tell if it's piercing through Jam Jam's attack or not yet. It looks like it is. It's stabbing through him. But of course this is Tower of God, so I don't know how much damage that actually is. And we have a massive explosion behind him. Jam Jam might be done for, which is sad because he's awesome. But what a cool fight. Whoops. I'll have to apologize to the hotel guests for that. So cool. This panel is awesome. This panel of Mate, sick. That's so cool. What a great chapter so far. There are going to be a lot of mosquitoes this summer. Man, he even had to throw a quip at him. And Yuri versus Tiara, we're seeing every side of this. If you don't believe in the power of riding, then you can experience it for yourself. Okay, this is what we saw last time they were fighting. I can't believe it. This is real? And then we have this. Okay, I don't think I mentioned anything. I don't think I mentioned anything the first time we saw these panels, when we first saw this chapter. But I noticed it either when going through to make a thumbnail or whatever, or I don't remember, like, I watched everybody else's reactions, watching other people's reactions maybe when I saw it. But this panel, I was like, I did not notice this freaking Tiara, like, see you, or whatever assistant drew this panel. They're getting kind of risque, showing off a bit here with Tiara. And then that four-eyed jerk is telling the truth. Okay, but Yuri's fine. And it looks like she might be pulling out the Green April. Whatever she writes really does come true. Also, it seemed like for like 99% of Tower of God runs, or Tower of God's runtime, there was like next to no fan service, except for like that one name hunt station Andrasi panel. But it seems like since, like the jump in art, or at least what I considered the jump in art, like towards the end of the nest, towards the end of the pre-hiatus, when I mentioned, I was like, the fights are getting noticeably better looking, like right before we got to the hiatus, I was like, the fights are getting noticeably better looking, the art's getting noticeably better looking. I don't know if CU decided for a change in philosophy, if they brought in some new assistants, but also, in addition to the art being better, I'm just saying this because of the butt shot of Yuri here, there is also, like, especially when we were getting reintroduced to Lilio, there is a fan service like there hasn't been in Tower of God before. I'm not complaining, certainly not. But yeah, I just thought it's an interesting thing to notice, because I feel like that just generally wasn't a thing in Tower of God before, but now I'm like, seeing it more, and it might have to do with like more new assistants. But yeah, like I said though, I do think the art has really jumped up recently. How is this possible? And she's deflecting with Green April. Regardless of a person's Shinsu skills, everyone can only use a fixed amount of Shinsu. People aren't allowed to exceed that amount. It's against the rules. And then... So, it's interesting, I've mentioned a bunch of times before how there are certain characters that it feels like the top tier characters are irregulars, and below irregulars, but above like just regular people in the tower, are these people who are rule breakers, where they're not irregulars, where rules just don't affect them to begin with, but they have powers that break the rules. People like Calivan, who it said that Calivan's essence of bravery breaks the rules of the tower. White, who's like demon powers or whatever, it says break the rules of the tower. The Yasracha and Yama or Yasracha and Wang Wang, but then it got passed on to Yama. They get to break the rules of the tower through like the Fang or whatever. So it's interesting that maybe because of the book, maybe you need something to be a person who's a rule breaker. White's souls, or the essence of bravery, or the Fang thorn, whatever, like the Fang. The thorn is the thing that Bomb has, like the Fang. Or maybe this book is similar, and maybe that's how Tiara could be a rule breaker too, putting her again in that like sort of upper echelon of characters. And we see Yuri's attack missing as she just stands there. Oh, it's not that it's missing, it's like she mentioned before, where it's just not affecting her. Her body's becoming Shinsu to avoid it. I think it's time to bring this story to an end. I can already picture it. I can see the moment when a beautiful red flower will bloom from within your body. This isn't good, thinks Yuri. She doesn't seem to have any weaknesses. Can she make anything happen simply by writing it in that book? And she flicks her finger. It seems absurd, but I just witnessed it for myself, so it must be true. Is she, like, it looked like she was flicking blood. I was going to say, is she trying to flick blood onto the book to mess up the writing? When she writes skills in that book, they have the same power as usual, but they're notably lacking in speed and accuracy. She seems to make up for that with the number of attacks. Because, yeah, again, it's like, you see it in a bunch of series where, like, a copycat character can copy the power, but, like, they haven't trained with it or anything, so it's not like they're good at using it. So it's like, it's not like she's really talented or skilled at using the beams that Yuri fires. She's just copying them, and that's why she can't really aim them very well. But one thing is for certain, she really can recreate whatever Shinsu she writes in that book. And we see a shot hitting Yuri in the shoulder. Wait, the book. I have to get rid of that book somehow. Okay, so she is going to target the book itself. Unless it also turns to Shinsu and not just her body. At times like this, there's really only one thing to do, despite the danger. And then, is she going to ignite? We see her wrapping her reel around the green April. And it looks like she's diving in, weaving through the attacks. I'm going in for another attack. So she charges him physically again. These panels are like, there have been a lot of similar things in the past, like, couple dozen chapters. Like this style where we see like multiple instances of the character weaving through attacks. It feels like that's something that we've seen a lot in Tower of God recently. And she just more panels of dodging attacks. Alright, and we see the landings of all the attacks as she's still running through. We've had like 5 long panels of this. And she finally makes it to Tiara. Maybe that was a little bit overkill. Maybe that was a bit much. She finally makes it in close range to Tiara. Charging blindly? Really? Is that the best idea you could come up with? And that's where we end. That's where we end. I can't complain, because that was an excellent, excellent chapter. But wow, that's where we end. The stuff at the beginning with Bomb and Lilial and Chilial and Andrasi was really, really, really good. And then we finally had them meet back up with Dravi and Hemaslime and Kun and Rak. And because they mentioned it here that Dravi knows a way of escaping worst case scenario, it makes me think that's probably what's going to happen. Like, they're not going to be leaving to go back to the Popadao. They're going to be escaping. And I don't know if, because it's Dravi and because Dravi is working for Jinsung, if their method of escape is the same as Jinsung and Cha's. I kept getting mixed up because Jinsung Ha and Jinsung and Cha, it was just getting mixed up in my brain. The same as Jinsung and Cha's method of escape. I don't know if they're going to be escaping the same way. You figure eventually Traumerei is going to do the same thing he did at the nest and just step out and be like, everybody, calm down. It just feels like that is bound to happen. It just feels like it probably should. So it's like, is that how this ends? Or it's like, if he does step out, I mean, he's a family head. Like, what are they gonna do about it? In addition to that, we still don't know what Lobodon's doing. We still haven't seen Laura again. We still don't, like, I assume Gaston himself isn't going to get directly involved. At least not yet. Maybe in a little bit, at least not yet. Because why else would he send Kuhn's group if he himself was just going to show up? He could have just showed up himself from the start, basically. There's also plenty of other, like, high-ranking Lopobias, like branch heads and stuff that we still haven't even ever seen. There's Yama and Yama's group. You got Yama and Doom there. You got Karaka's group within his world of darkness. What are they doing? We still have not gotten back from, like, pre-hiatus. We still haven't gotten back to Shibisu's group at the Sol Huang something, the snow forest. I don't remember what it was. The snow forest. We still haven't gotten back to that. I figured at least eventually we would be getting some sort of Arlen lore stuff from the snow forest. You'd figure with the way that Haku did everything he could to get his group and get to bomb at the walls during that arc, that, you know, Haku would want to get the bomb now if he's been captured. So again, who knows what that grouping of characters is doing? There's a lot of things. This whole princess thing is going down. Even like non-official sort of princesses like Tiara and Anak hasn't been involved at all. Even though, again, we have like Shiliel getting involved as sort of Liliel's counterpart, we still haven't seen Anak. So it's like, I don't know, there's still so many, there's like a million different ways that this could go at this point. But I kind of feel like we're starting to lean towards the Bomb, and the group that's with him right now is going to take the Dravi method of escape. But then again, how do they? Because in order to do so, they would have to fight the Serpent Master, who is going to be loyal to Liliel and Chiliel. Liliel and Chiliel, who actually, you know what? Like, they don't want to betray the Lopobia. At the same time, they don't want to marry Bomb. So it's like, what choice do they make? Do they let him escape? Because they don't want to marry Bomb, or at least Liliel for sure doesn't. Or do they try to make him stay there? Does Liliel, at the very least, try to help him escape because she doesn't want to marry him? But Chiliel would want to be loyal to the family and try to keep Bomb there. Ren also said he had a change of heart and wants Bomb to join the Lopobia. So if that's the case, Ren's going to want to keep him there. But again, what can Ren really do? And I feel like Liliel, maybe, this is just me, this is just power scaling in my head, I feel like if we actually got to see the Andraste and Liliel fight, I feel like Andraste would have stomped Liliel. Just me personally. I feel like if Liliel tries to say, no, Chiliel, we have to let him get out of here instead of killing him because I don't want either of us to marry him, I feel like Chiliel stomps Liliel. Maybe it's just me. So I genuinely don't know what the character interaction there is, but I just feel like Kuhn and Rack are going to be like, yeah, let's escape with Dravi. And I feel like Dravi's method of escape is, you know, probably likely related to what Jinsung and Ja are doing. So yeah, tons of different ways this can go. I guess I feel like there's nothing more to talk about regarding this chapter without going in circles. So either way, thank you so much for watching. If you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of this chapter, my first thoughts and reaction, all that kind of stuff. Subscribe for more. Tower of God, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. If you want a link to the... Yeah, follow on Twitter if you want. For now, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be doing this Twitter stuff. It's been more and more of a mess lately, as anyone who's ever used it knows. So I don't really know if it's even worth shouting out at the end of videos anymore, but I've been doing so for like 7-8 years, so it kind of just is ingrained habit in my mind at this point. But we can talk there if you want. We can talk on Discord if you want. Just ask and I can give you a link to the server. It's free and open for anyone. If you would, and it would also be helpful if you want to support the channel by doing a super thanks. You don't have to. I try to talk to everybody as much as I can regardless. But yeah, if you just wanted to throw some money at the channel, you could do a super thanks. But if you want to get One Piece a little bit early and have a shout out at the end of every video, you could become a patron or a channel member. Or if you don't really care about that, you just want to help support the channel, it's patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or a link will be in the description, or you can hit join down below and become a channel member. Either way is good. Thank you to people who are patrons and members. Thank you to Chosen Regular Evan Holly, Magical Girls, FR Nono, Huarian, and Smeller Dog, Cherryton Student, David Langstaff, and Slayer Candidate SG. Big thank you to all of them for their support, and big thank you to all of you for watching. I guess that's it. I had a lot of fun with this one. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time.